Din Djarin is not the Mandalorian. Despite the fact Season 3 was basically her show, Bo-Katan is not the Mandalorian. None of these guys are the Mandalorian either. They even tossed us this man in a DeLorean, but none of them are the Mandalorian. I've noticed something about this show over the past 3 seasons, and it kinda got me thinking. Wait for it. A lot of the episode titles for this show have had dual meanings, sometimes more. For example, in this past season's low point, Guns for Hire, aka the Lizzo episode, the title can refer to Din and Bo, as they're hired to work out their little Scooby-Doo mystery, and it also applies to the Mandalorians stationed outside the city who were hired for security and protection. We'll get to you in a minute, stop. In The Convert, Pershing is a convert to the New Republic's way of thinking, or at least he's trying. And Bo-Katan is a convert in the sense that she was an unbeliever who had a religious experience when she sees the impossible, the mythosaur.
Mythosaur. Insert unobtainium joke of your choice here.
Right you are, Doge. If you wanted to take it even further, the argument could be made that Pershing is converted again against his will.
Sure that's not a dating simulator?
My point is that the Mandalorian has been hiding in plain sight this whole time. I started working on this video before the finale came out, and I wish I'd been able to get it out sooner. Click like and subscribe to help me get to a point where I can get stuff out sooner.
Click like and I will bork.
Not helping.
Subscribe and I will defile the carpet like a drunken tick-tock thought engorged on Taco Bell.
No, don't listen. You'll only encourage him.
I'm such a bitch.
Your laugh is disturbing. No, brown baby!
Guys, work it up! Look, squirrel!
Bork. Bork. Hey, rodent, get thee hence, trying to produce a show here.
That'll keep him occupied. Yes, I'm saying Din Grogu is the Mandalorian. To be honest, I was kind of suspicious of this from the very beginning, but once we had confirmation that a mythosaur existed, that sealed the deal for me, as Grogu has repeatedly shown a special connection with beasts. A connection that bears fruit in that last episode. We will see him riding that beast one day as the leader of the Mandalorian. They telegraphed it a little bit in the scene where the 2 Mandalorians are on the brink of coming to blows. Does their new leader break it up? Does Din? No, it was Grogu.
You didn't learn that from me.
Sure, no one wants to kick the baby.
Come on, bro! Kick the f***ing baby! Let's see you try it!
But I think Favreau and Filoni were sending us a pretty clear message here that he would be the one to peacefully unite the tribes and become the future of Mandalore. But what would that look like? And I mean that on a practical, show level as well as the story level. The first movie with sound was The Jazz Singer in 1927. Despite that technological advancement, Charlie Chaplin would continue to make his films silent until The Great Dictator in 1940, because he knew giving the tramp a voice would ruin him for audiences. When Grogu finally speaks, Lucasfilm's little moneymaker is going to change forever, so they're going to have to handle this really carefully.
This is indeed a disturbing universe.
I think we can safely rule out that voice.
But what will his voice sound like? Is he going to have Yoda's bizarre speech pattern? The only other being from this species we know of is Yaddle, and she spoke normally.
But the wisdom of the council is to be cautious until we know more.
And by the way, how does that work? A Jedi Master over 900 years old, and Yoda never mastered syntax? I would have assumed it was a feature of the species, but Yaddle clearly yeeted that idea into the exhaust port.
Maybe he'll never talk?
Possible, but I doubt it. That would be an intriguing twist, though. One would think that a leader would need the power of persuasive speech, but if some of the Mandalorians would blindly follow whoever had the Darksaber, I guess I can easily see them blindly following someone who fulfills the prophecy simply by riding a mythosaur.
This is the way.
What about the saber? Do they fix it? Does he make a new one from the old Kyber crystal? By leading Grogu down this road, they're drawing obvious parallels with Tar Vizsla, the first Mandalorian in the Jedi Order and the creator of the dark saber. After his passing, the Jedi kept the saber in their temple.
That was until members of House Vizsla snuck in and liberated it. They used the saber to unify the people and strike down those who would oppose them. One time, they ruled all of
Mandalore wielding this blade. So I can easily see the Mythosaur being a replacement for the Darksaber as far as the Mandalorians are concerned, especially if Grogu keeps it like a pet or a friend, so it's a constant reminder to the people.
Kinda like me.
No, but I think our little green friend is headed to a dark place. Even if he becomes the leader of Mandalore, it wouldn't be Star Wars if he was happy and content on the light side of the Force the whole time. That's not compelling storytelling. Just like life, Star Wars repeats themes.
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
Remember, an important point here. Ahsoka refused to train Grogu because of his attachment to Din.
You cannot train him.
What? Why not? You've seen what he can do.
His attachment to you makes him vulnerable to his fears, his anger.
All the more reason to train him.
No. I've seen what such feelings can do to a fully trained Jedi Knight.
After what she saw happen to Anakin, Ahsoka understands more than anyone what the risks are. And that's including Luke. Attachments are a blind spot for him. As a side note, I never understood the Jedi logic in these situations. I fear in this kid. He's too dangerous to train. That makes no sense. He has a power. It's not like a gun you can just take away from him. He's stuck with it. Without the proper guidance, he could become an even bigger problem.
Ignore it. It'll go away.
Basically, Grogu is extremely peaceful right now. He's been through some trauma. He lived through Order 66, been kidnapped, experimented on. Consequently, he's taking the high road and breaking up fights, using the Force only for defensive attacks in battles where he could probably easily crush them within their armor, but he's attached to his dad, something they solidified in the finale with the adoption. I think that happy little iris out ending is an indicator that this is probably the happiest he'll ever be and that everything changes going forward. Luke was aware of the attachment. Grogu chose the Beskar chainmail from his dad over Yoda's lightsaber. Maybe he's a little wary of the Jedi after Order 66? But despite becoming a powerful Jedi, Luke has never really had to experience the dangers and risks of attachment, despite falling victim to it himself multiple times. Yoda warned him on Dagobah, but overly attached to his friends, he bailed on his training and raced to Bespin. Later, overly attached to his dad, he utterly fixated on turning him back to the light side.
I know there is good in you. The Emperor hasn't driven it from you fully. I feel the conflict within you. Let go of your hate.
It was a huge risk that paid off, so he never really learned his lesson. And maybe that'll be a component of Luke's fall as they try to tie this into the sequel trilogy. Personally, I'm hoping that the rumors are true and that they're going to use Ezra and Ahsoka to use the World Between Worlds to retcon and fix the sequel trilogy. But that's for another video. In order for Grogu to take his place, something will have to happen to bo-katan. Likewise, something is going to happen to Din. And you know what that means. Din Grogu. Get ready for Darth Grogu. That's it for this video. Click like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. John A. For example, in this past season's low point, Guns for Hire, aka the Lizzo episode, outside the city, who were hired for security and
Why'd you fuck it up? Why'd you do that?
Writer's strike.